Hey guys, it's John from Total Brohammer, and as you can see, we got some sweet double arc. Man, 6 template cannon action from the Empire here. So I'll be playing my beloved Empire, who have become considerably better in the latest patch here, although probably still one of the weakest factions. It's a lot closer now. Balance is definitely taking steps in the right place. Hell, in another patch or two, who knows, we could be in a just fantastic place. So, Empire, I'm going to be fighting up against Averlorn here. So, not a great matchup for the Empire. Let's go with some army compositions real quick. I got some spearmen and 3 spearmen with shields. I've got the Hammer of Witches and a cannon. I've got 2 great swords, 3 Empire Knights, a Jade Wizard of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth, as well as Karl Franz and the Royal Alt of Griffite. My opponent has 4 Shadow Warriors, who I cannot see at this point. Alarielle, the Ever Radiant. Oh, not Ever Radiant? She's the Ever Queen. Alarielle, the Radiant here. He's got 3 Dragon Princes, including the Fireborn, and he has 4 Spearmen. So, a build like this is meant to kite your opponent. It is meant to draw them out, split them up, and pick them apart with Dragon Prince charges and with Archer Fire, and use Spearmen as little holding points wherever you need it along the way. So, seeing this, I'm going to start shooting at Alarielle the Radiance. She's the only thing I have, I'm in range of. I can't see these guys. However, I'm looking at his army, I'm like, this is not all his army. So immediately what I'm going to start doing once I realize that, is I'm going to actually move up my front line. So I'm like, he has Shadow Warriors, he has to have Shadow Warriors, so I need to move up and make sure that these Shadow Warriors don't get in range of my cannons. If I can keep them out of range with my cannons, I can basically, really hurt his ability to do the whole kitey across the entire map thing and pick apart type thing. I need the range advantage so I can keep him from, you know, just staying back. I need to always be applying pressure to him. That's what my cannons are going to do. I don't have the speed to do it any other way. I do have Empire Knights, sure, but Dragon Princes will absolutely destroy them. I do have the Royal Alt of Griffites, but there's only one of them. 3 Dragon Princes, Alarielle, and a lot of Spearmen on the field, so a lot of dangerous things here. I'm going to be moving out my Spearmen to support my Cav as my Cav make these Shadow Warriors run away. These Shadow Warriors do look like they are not on fire at will. I'm going to start firing at these Dragon Princes in a moment here. I'm going to change my target over to the Fireborn, seeing that they are in range now. He's going to come in for a charge on my... Oh man, look at that! Look at these guys! Oh yes, that's beautiful right there. Oh man, we gotta... That's fantastic. That's going to be the thumbnail right there. Look at these. Look at these guys. Oh man, I love it. I love it. They're just having tons of fun. Who knew that Dragon Princes could fly? I mean, I guess they do have wings on their head. Dragon Princes can fly. Huh. So anyway, those cannon volleys took out a lot of models here. It is 2 cannons though, including the Hammer of Witches. I am indeed retreating behind my Spearmen, so I need these Spearmen to muck up the charge of these Dragon Princes. I definitely don't want the Empire Knights to take the charge, and I don't want my Royal Alt of Griffite to take the charge either, as there are some Dragon Princes inbound here. Over here I do see an opening for my Empire Knights to go in and take care of these Shadow Warriors, so that's what we're going to do here. He's going to pull back with his Fireborn, and I do see that he's moving around with his Dragon Princes across the flank, so I'm going to be moving my Spearmen back here to try and help defend that, and I'm also going to be switching my cannons to fire at these Dragon Princes. Let's go ahead and kick it into high gear. So I have my my Royal Alt of Griffite sitting right here. We're all waiting and we're all ready. He's gonna come in here. I'm gonna stop right here real quick. He's gonna get a good charge on these Empire Knights with the Fireborn. He's actually gonna get the charge on my Royal Alt of Griffite, which is absolutely terrible. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pop all my buffs here. 52 and 55 melee attack and defense on the Empire Knights. I'm gonna be pulling them away. The Royal Alt of Griffites got the charge taken on them, so they are taking a lot of damage very fast and are losing in combat, but they do have +8 leadership now, and they have 64 and 68 melee attack and melee defense, so that is definitely helping that fight there. I also am getting some Spearmen over here and pulling out my Empire Knights. I'm going to have these Spearmen go after these Archers. I'm going to be bringing my Great Swords up to start taking care of these Spearmen corps. Over here, I am firing at these Dragon Princes with my 2 cannons here, but as you can see, my Spearmen are just not fast enough, and he is going to get onto my cannons here. So let's go ahead and watch that. I'm going to try to muck him up here, see if we get any cannon shots. Oh, we do stop him temporarily, and there go. Oh, the Flying Dragon Princes. I love it. So a couple good cannon shots. Oh man, they were really clumped up right there. That was a good. Oh, point blank. Damn. All right. So back in the front line here, as you can see with the buffs, and I also got a little bit of healing off on the roll of Great Fights with the lifeblood. Because Karl Franz was taking a lot of damage too. We are taking care of these Dragon Princes, but we took a very bad amount of damage for being that we are a unit that basically hard counters this unit. So I'm moving my Spearman in through here. He does get a charge onto my Empire Knights. I am going to pull him back here. I am just trying to cycle charge all around with my Empire Knights. As you can see, I have lost macro on them, and they are just sitting there right now. But hopefully I'll be moving them in a moment here. Here comes Alarielle the Averlorn, hoping to probably fear these guys off. I'm going to have my Spearman run after the Fireborn, and then I think I'm going to switch them onto the Shadow Warriors. Seeing that we have actually terrified off these Dragon Princes, I am now going to run into the Fireborn here and start trying to get some really good damage on them. I'm going to be pulling out the Empire Knights, as that's not a place where they want to be, and I'm going to have my Great Swords and these Empire Knights actually charge these Dragon Princes. So these Empire Knights were going after these Shadow Warriors, but they got caught on something it was seeing, and they lost their orders. These Empire Knights are coming back from chasing off those Shadow Warriors. These Great Swords are, I guess they are enjoying the sight of this wall, and you know what? I can't blame them. Look at that thing. That's pretty amazing. Don't blame them here. Look at those pillars and the skulls. Cool stuff, cool stuff. Anyway, people are dying over here. So my Empire Knights are coming in for a charge on, well, I thought they were coming in for a charge, but it looks like I actually did misclick, and I told them to actually go here instead of charge, which is very unfortunate for me. Over here, as you can see, he's finally bringing in the Spearmen, which have been out of the battle for far too long since he was so spread out. Back here, my cannons. He is taking out the Hammer Witches, but my Spearmen and the cannons are doing tons of damage to these Dragon Princes, so definitely a worthwhile trade if you ask me. These Empire Knights, like I said, fortunately I did miss that charge over here. My Roll of Grid Fights, I've popped a regrowth on them, and we're now retreating both Franz and the Royal Altar of Grid Fights. So right here I'm going to charge into these Dragon Princes, try to finish them off. If he tries to have any Spearmen go at me, I'm going to have my Great Swords intercept. I'm going to go ahead and pull back my Royal of Grid Fights. I don't want to engage where the Spearmen might be around. He does have his Lord coming back over here. I'm going to chase him off real quick and keep my caster close to my little squad here. That's really going to help. I'm going to send these Great Swords after these Spearmen to hold them back, and I'm going to have my Royal of Grid Fights take care of these Fireborn, and they should do quite well there. Over here, these Great Swords are going to be chasing these Shadow Warriors out in the distance. My Empire Knights have been trying to deal with Shadow Warriors, but Shadow Warriors have really good stats, and Empire Knights really don't. They're only, they have armor is what they have. He's going to be going after my caster once again, but you know what? He's not doing that great, and I'm going to get Karl Franz to come over here. Ooh, he takes down a Dragon Prince, and looks like I actually don't have him on Alarielle, but Alarielle did get distracted by my troops here. Seeing that I was never going to catch these guys, I was like, let's just go surround these Spearmen and help finish them off over here. As you can see, my Empire Knights are trying to finish off these Shadow Warriors, but they are quite tanky for Empire Knights. And over here, his Fireborn are going down. He did get a lot of his Spearmen in here, which is very unfortunate for my overall Altar of Grid Fights. And as you can see, I am going to be... Is that him or me that's popping that hill? Yeah, that is me. So I'm going to be popping another regrowth on my guys here and pull them out of here, seeing that there's a lot of Spearmen in here now. Going to run into the back of these Spearmen and hoping that the fear and terror will terrify them off. It does. And his Lord is still chasing my caster here. I am going to try to come and get him. Looks like I don't. He's being very good with that Lord just coming in and out. Over here, his Dragon Princes are almost destroyed. We've taken care of his Shadow Warriors for the most part here. He does have 10 Dragon Princes over there. Fireborn, in fact. But the Great Swords, now that's come down to the Great Swords versus Spears, we are going to be doing very well here. He keeps on trying to snipe my caster, but as you can see, I am on top of my micro as far as keeping him moving. So, he has actually left one of my cannons out here all alone. These Spearmen are going to be my Spearmen with shields. I'm going to move these guys around back and get a rear charge on them, but now we got some free cannon fire shots on them. And I'm actually not going to chase them there because I am not interested in taking any friendly fire, and I want my cannon to do all the work it can. So over here, he's going to pop a heal on his guys, but these Great Swords are going to take care of these guys, no problem. Going to run right into these Shadow Warriors, wanting to take them out. They're very annoying units here. Over here, his 10 Fireborn, I actually got a rear charge on them, but they were able to defeat my 2 Empire Knights, despite being very outnumbered. But, you know, they're Fireborn, so those are lowly Empire Knights, so, you know, to be expected. He's popping a nice fat heal on his Dragon Princes here, and Frost Protection as well, so they are very tanky here. Ooh, oh man, we just took some friendly fire from that cannon fire, though, but we are also getting some really good damage on my opponent. So there goes those Dragon Princes. He is going after my caster again. I'm not too worried about it. He hasn't been able to get very good hits so far, fortunately for me. As you can see, I'm finally moving around behind the spearmen. I'll be collapsing in on them in a moment here. So over here, it's kind of messy. The Fireborn are moving out here. I know I got to keep all my troops together. If I spread out, then his build works. I can't spread out. When your opponent has a very kitey build, and with Cav to pick you off, you got to stay together. You have to stay together. There goes the collapse on these guys. And we're just going to finish off any unit that we can get our hands on right now. I'm going to make sure to keep my caster near my little death squad over here, the Royal Altar of Purifies and Karl Franz, who are doing just immense damage on this battlefield. I'm going to have these great swords come take care of these spearmen real quick, and then start pulling these guys over here in case he decides to go over here with Alarielle the Averlorn and start doing some damage. However, he's actually going to go after my cannon. I'm going to try to get a few shots into him here. That is a pretty good idea if you ask me. He is going to pop Arcane Conduit. He's going to jump on this cannon and get his fire off the field because his fire has been very good. Very, very good. Now, I think this is definitely the wrong build to use against Empire. However, this kind of build can work against a lot of factions. This is a very versatile build, I would say. But it doesn't really account for cannons. And he can use the range of Shadow Warriors to try and take out cannons real fast. Like, if he had each of them fire a volley into the cannons, he could have done significant damage. But no, seeing what he had on the field, I knew he had to have Shadow Warriors. So I was moving my troops up to make sure to pressure his Shadow Warriors to keep them from, what's the word I'm looking for? To keep them from being in range of my, oh man, what are those guys called? Of my cannons. Alright, so I'm going to jump in here. I was a little bit quick on the draw here. Going to pop all the buffs on Galmaraz, sorry, on Spawns, including Galmaraz. Gonna pop a nice Earthblood, hitting all these guys. But I should have waited till both of my Greatsword units actually got here and been a little bit more patient, and this engagement would have gone even better for me. He's gonna pop an Overcasted Flawless Protection, but everything we have here is armor piercing, so the armor part of it's not gonna do too much. It is gonna help a little bit, but the armor definitely is. So these Shadow Warriors have to 60 armor, but like I said, lots of armor piercing, but their melee defense is 61. But the fear and terror of the Royal Altar of Purifies in this match has been just instrumental in my victory here, and it is looking pretty good for me so far. I do have a full health Franz. My Cav is beating his Cav. I mean, at this point, between the cannons and these Royal Altar of Purifies, we've killed a ridiculous amount of Dragon Princes now. He is still going after my caster. I still am juking him quite a bit. But my great swords are in such great health now, it's going to be kind of difficult for him to win without the cycle charging ability of his Dragon Princes. And now that we've gotten rid of all the Dragon Princes, now he finally gets some really good hits on my caster here. We are going to come in and get some good hits on him as well, bringing her down quite a bit. We do actually get my cannon back here, and I'm going to have her, him, start moving. Well, I'm not actually going to give him orders the rest of the match, I think, because we do have only a few seconds left here. So he's going to come after my caster, get a really good hit there. Going to come right back in here, get another really good hit. But he's out of Winds of Magic. Like, there's no way he's going to cast another spell, so I'm not too worried about it. We get some more good damage on Alarielle the Radiant here, and that's going to be enough to trigger army losses, and it is a victory for the Empire. Alright, so let's look at that in-battle breakdown here. So, Karl Franz coming in with 44 kills, and World of Fear Fights with 65 kills. Most of these kills being on Dragon Princes, so pretty good considering the fact that they took a straight-up charge from Dragon Princes and didn't even get their counter charge. So that was definitely a mistake on my part, but the buffs from Karl Franz and the healing did keep them alive, thankfully. Over here, the Greatsword is doing absolute work taking care of the Spearmen. His Dragon Princes were the answers to the Greatswords, but the Cannons and the Royal Altar of Purifies and Franz and Healing were just able to take care of the Dragon Princes. So 22, 39, 46. These guys are usually units that can get up to hundreds of kills. But we were able to stave that off, thankfully for me. Now, my Empire Knights did a good job at the very least keeping these Shadow Warriors busy and stopping them from shooting into my Greatswords here. Because as you can see, my Greatswords not only got a lot of kills, but they are in great health too. So that's very nice for me. I do like the build. I think there was a couple of mistakes on both our sides. He needed some way to be able to take down those cannons, I think. The cannons were definitely why I won this battle here. But, in any case, a very good game to Funky Monkey. And that's going to be all for this one, guys. This is Jonathan for Total Brohammer, signing out.